Yeah. So basically, this is where we left at. I've just added a few things for the purpose of this tutorial as I had left behind. So we had discussed about variables, the definite, the various data types that we have, and yeah. So what I just introduced, the concept I just introduced is function. I'll dig in deep more into functions, but rather that's not the purpose of the function that I just created here. So the purpose of this function is to show global variables. As I had said, let me clear the terminal. Said is that um, these are variables, these are variables, these are variables. So as you can see that these variables are declared outside outside this, yeah, and yeah. So let's have that. This is a variable declared outside this function, the obj function. And if I can come and yeah, say that. Uh, so as you can see, the obj is this obj we had before the 70 plus 5 is 75, and so the function will take has no parameters because it's just returning an output of what we have already, which is the obj. So if I can save and run this, you should see something similar. You see 75 plus 75, you get 80. You get 80. So yeah. So you can see this. So this technically, this OBJ right now, this OBJ right now is is global variable. Yeah. So let's say, so moving on, I'm going to discuss about the data types. As I had said before, we have integers, we have floats, we have string, yeah, or rather, I had forgotten something. We don't have decimals. Yeah, yeah, we don't have decimals. We have something called complex data type. Yeah, so we have that. We have those are so integer, float, and complex are actually numeric types. Numeric data types because they deal with numbers. So we have text type, which is string, as I said before. We have sequence types, which include um, which include list. Let me write it here. So these are sequence. And we can have these apples. Yeah. So these actually deal with sequences. They build something that carry along with each other, not one two. It's more of a list and tuples, and yeah. So you can definitely argue. And also ranges. It includes also something we say range. So you can say it also has range. So you can definitely tell from the wordings that this is a list, this is a tuple, and this is a range. So it deals with the ranges. So yeah, we also have mapping type, which uses dict. So it's a dictionary. We have set types. I'm not going to talk about more of them because we'll deal with them in the couple of times. So suppose I want to print, the data type. I want to know the data type of something. Yeah, so we're going to use the obj, but now let's say we want to know the data type of obj. We come, we type obj. So this type function is actually to show the data type of the object obj. You can save. Let's see what the data type is. It's clear. Let's run the file again. We can see this an integer. Copying from the same, we can have control C and then control V. Let's see what print is. Rent is rent here. Let's see what rent is. So we can see that and control V unknown. Let- So is rent. Let's see the table type we have. Save and run it. See it's string. So I said before this is how we get the types. The types. Yeah. So we can actually tell what data types here, what we have, what do we have, and such. So let me do for the sequence. It's good that I show the example. So let's say we have a a which is the sequence. Let's give it characters. Let's give it a string. Yeah. So this I'm dealing with list right now. So list will have this. Yeah, have this. We'll have that we have a car. This A. Suppose the A has cars, has land, and has what? What else? What property can we else have? Let's say car, land, and yeah. Let's say apartments. I guess apartments. Something, something that. We also have B. To show you the types of sequence data types. So for B, we could have that B is still the same thing, but this is how we declare tuples with bracket to it. Mark how I've used the squared brackets, and for the tuples I've used but in C, we could also have ranges. Range of range. So is for range. We really don't say what we have for range. We'll just say that we have a range of three. Range is like saying we have ranges from this to this and this to this. Yeah. So this list. Yeah. This is a list. Let me comment them. So let's see what types we have. This is just for information. Let's clear the terminal and yeah. So let's run, and you can see this. So this list tuple range. So it's a class integer. It's a class string. It's a class list. It's a class tuple range. So these are actually um, things that we need to consider if we really want to manipulate the variables. Take take the place of the what they're holding inside. We really need to know what um, data types are actually embedded within the variable. So that we can be able to manipulate it. Yeah. So yeah, so basically that's it about data types, and I want to show let's to show you something more. Um, I want to show you something more. So having said all that, we can decide that we want to change these variables. We want to change these variables. We really don't. We want to change them to something. So we'll have to cast them. So what I'm going to teach you is casting, casting of variables, casting of variables. Casting, we could say that we have x, which is of integer type. I put the bracket and we say this is a string of 89. I want to change. You can see this is a string, yeah. So I want to change. I want to change that x won't be a string integer. So if you can say print x, see what it does. And also print type. Print type type x. Let me show you something. Let's say y is this 89. Y actually is this 89. And let's change that as y. Save. Let's see how we cast. So we are actually casting it. You can see this is a string. So let's see what x will be. So let's run it. As you can see, this is 89. It has printed it as an integer rather than a string. Yeah, yeah. Because if I say print y, you can come and say print y for purpose of validation. Say y, control s, we could say is. You see, printed y as something else that's not the same that we wanted. So you've just casted it to something else. So let me say here, so this is how we cast. We take the variables to something and we change it to something else, and we do it. I'm great with profound skill and attire. So that's for Python casting. You could play along with what we planned, and yeah. So having casted, we should talk more of something, more of the variables rather, more of the data types that we're dealing with, so that we can know how to actually work with them and deal with them in the manner of how we want them to be with. Yeah, yeah. So as I had said before, yeah, there are strings, which is characters, characters, quotation marks. So to declare a string, you need the quotation marks, like print hello world, like something we use the quotation marks and all. And so if anything, we will just use quotation marks. Yeah. So if you want to um, do something like something like multi-line string, you know if you want the strings if you want the strings to be in one line, to be in a line, let's say, rather than have it let's say we have a string that we have a lot of gibberish, have a lot of gibberish and everything. And if you print this variable w, we should see something of the sort. Okay, you should see something saying, see this book, yeah, this book and everything. You see, the book has not been. But now, suppose I just suppose I want to make it lines, make it a line, make it a variable. So a line variable. So sure. We're going to use a multi-line. So we're going to save it. After we save it, we after we save it, let's print w. Let's see how it looks like. Okay. Okay. As you can see, thing is just that the wordings are not that long. But if they are long, this will separate the lines. We'll have the book and everything, then it's in a separated line, a separated line, a separated line, a separated line. So that's how we do it. Yeah. So that's how you do multi-line. You can try the same. You could also have arrays of strings. Like let's say that we want to get the first character of the W, and we'll use this, and we'll say zero. Zero is the first character of of the variable W, the book, and everything zero. This is because one in Python or any programming language, our arrays only start from zero. We don't start from one. We start from zero. So let's see. Let's see what it will say. The first character. The first character of this is T, and that's in agreement. We all agree that it's T and stuff. Yeah. So it's T. So we could have as much as such. So I also want to teach you about looping in these characters. Yeah. So I can come and say for for I'll teach you more about looping, but this say um, print you can print X, or rather you can print I. See, let's see. So let's save and let's try it out. So you can see it has printed all the characters. It has looped through. It has looped through all all the characters that we have here, from T, from the and everything. This is the this so this T is this. It has printed everything, the book, yeah, everything. So this is how we loop through characters in the variables. You can get them in every sort of ways and everything. So that's how we loop through strings. We can also can determine the string length. Yeah, the string length. Suppose I want to know the length of the string. Let me paint it here. So we want to know the length of the string. So we'll use this function, we call it len. So length is length. So we want to see the length that before we print everything, all the characters. So it's clear. Let's run. Okay, okay, I should comment. So we have 50. So all these, if you can count all these, this is 50 actually. So this is how we can determine the length of characters. So this is key for some things like max characters. Like you want to limit the max characters of something to something like 50 or something. So if you can get that the length is less than whatever, if you want it less than 40, and these guys are past 40, then it won't work. So this, how we could use len and everything. Yeah. So we also have that if you want to check something in the string. Yeah. So suppose I want to know something is in the string. So I can actually come and say print. I'm sure you also see that this book is in in W. So let's say let me this remove this so that it can not show much. Let's do that. Clear the terminal. So you can see this book is false because this book has so much letters in it. It has three O's and we have two here. So that's true. So that's false. So but if I write um, book, say that, and again you can see it's true because this book is actually in this book. So you can actually find characters embedded in the variable threshold. So that's how we get it through the in function, or we declare first what we want to get, and in and the variable. In short, where we are getting it from. So what we're getting in, what we're getting from. So that's about strings. We also have a lot, a lot, a lot. So rather than in, we also have not in, and that's also a variable. So if we have that, we show you something. So paste that and say this is just in. See how it goes. So you see, book is in this, and this book not in this. So this is, suppose this is true, and should be false. So let's see, that's clear, and test it out. This is false and this is true. This book actually is in them, but book not in. This is false because book is actually in them. So this is wrong. So this is false. So yeah. So you can also check if something isn't there, is there, or is there or not. So yeah. So as for strings, that's about strings. That's about strings and everything. And what we have as strings, we have not. We can also loop through the strings, as I showed before. We can do all that about strings. So strings are a powerful thing. It has various functions that we can get from it. Yeah, can get from the first. We can loop through every character in the string. We could um, ascertain the length of the string. We could get what is in the string and what isn't in the string, or what isn't but is in the string. Yeah, yeah. So yeah. So moving on, rather, let's let's talk about something else fun, something else that we ought to get. So as I had shown before, that we could get the first characters in the, we could get the characters in this the variable, this variable. However, what if we want to variables? We want to get characters between this and this. We want to get characters between one and this, whatever. So we can say, come and say one, which is the beginning of what we want to, and we'll get, let's think that that's clear. You can see this is how many characters we have: one, two, three, four, five, six. So from one, so this is one, two, three, four, five, six. See the three zeros. So this is actually four, and this is six, six. But as you can see, this is also, to this is a character. If I can remove that and save it, something different, you'll see that it has gone until it actually has captured K, because spacing is actually a character in the strings. So yeah. So as you can see, this is one, two, this is five, this is seven. So it has actually gone from the first one to the seventh one. This eight actually, we don't include it in the, the list, the stretches on the range or something. So the range of this from 1 to 8 is actually giving us this head hook. Yeah. So that's how we can determine positions of characters of everything, of everything. So moving on. Suppose we remove this one. Yeah, because it's actually pause. We have we actually get, as you can see, 8. So it has taken everything, everything, everything till the eighth, till the eighth. It has taken from 0 to 7. Suppose I say that. So it has taken everything to the same thing. It has taken everything to 8. And suppose now, since we remove this, suppose I want 1. Yeah. Let's save. Let's clear and see. See, so it has removed everything aside from the 1. You see, so everything. It has taken the first character, the 1 character, and from HE, the H is the 1 index character, and everything else has been taken. So this is how we do it. So you could take from something up to something, or everything from something or everything. So that's how we slice this everything. So suppose I want to say something. Suppose I want everything except for the last character, which is B. What am I going to do? So I'm going to put this negative. Everything here is about testing and trying, seeing how it goes. So it actually is taking everything, everything from this character. This is just like saying print W. It has taken everything, everything. But suppose now we want to cut it short. We want to take it from DBC to everything. So by that, how are we going to do that? We're going to take by putting 8 there. 8 there, save, it's clear, and this. See, it's taken from DBC, and the space I told you, space is a character for this. So it has taken DBC and everything. That's the 8 characters that have been left. Yeah, so that's more of what I'm talking about slicing. So what I'm going to talk about next is something fun. I'm going to talk about how we could modify strings, you know, and modifying strings is a way of getting to modify the strings, or rather the variables embedded strings that we could have. Suppose, yeah. So let's get to it then. So we are going to talk about modifying strings, and in the modifying strings we could get a lot from modifying strings. So that's up to it. That's what I'll leave up to, and yeah, play along, and I'll take you through about modifying strings in the next part of the course, as well as concatenating strings and the rest of what is required. So thank you. Stay up next for yeah the next tutorial, as I'll take you through the basics until we get to the intermediary. Then we get to the real deal, the expert level, which I'll get you to it. Follow through the tutorials. So subscribe, hit the like button, and yeah, tell me what you have gained or how you tried it, and I'll get you next up for the next tutorial. So thank you. This was King, and see you next time.